Alright, Travis Wingoodsell. I'm still needing to get ready for the day. It's nice working from home. But the church is upsetting me more and more as they attempt to cover up or justify the tithing scandal. This is a distraction, people. The ABC4.com news, whatever. They're reporting on the church's second statement on the $100 billion cover-up scandal. And they're saying that tithing is used, and they put helping poor and needy first. No. Tithing does not go for the poor and the needy. Did you Mormons not go to your tithing settlement this year? You have to declare it, otherwise your bishop might put not full tithe and take your recommend away. We'll get to that in a minute, because I keep bringing this up for you guys. Tithing is not for the poor and needy. Fast offerings are. Remember? That's why we have fast offerings. That's what they go for. They go for welfare with the bishop's storehouses. That's the poor and the needy. Now this news coverage said, oh, we've spent $2.2 billion in charity since 1995, or whatever date they gave. That was LDS Charities. That's a separate organization that's funded separately and was specifically designed to help the world, not Utah, not the United States. And they're still touting $2.2 billion, as Nelson announced it as over $2 billion in conference this last time around. And as the report that I found from the late 1900s, $2 billion. They received that $2 billion back then and spent it all. They haven't gotten anything since, apparently, or they're not spending any more from that charity. But again, not the point. If you toss a homeless person a quarter, you can go around saying, hey, I've helped the poor and the needy. I'm awesome. But did you really help them? No. They can't do anything with that quarter. It's worthless now. Can't even buy a pack of gum with it. And do you want to know the percentage for the church? If they're making hundreds of thousands from the various entities, we'll just throw out an estimated 400 million or billion. How much is 2 billion with this specialized fund for the rest of the world? We'd have to do the numbers, but it's 0.0. And then the actual charity from fast offerings, Oaks was quoted in 2016 with the Deseret News, 40 million per year. And of course, hey, we're giving to the poor, we're helping. That's even less of a percentage That's 0.0001. That's nothing. That's like tossing a quarter. Helping the poor and needy is not about just helping the poor and needy. I'm going to have to stop the video, it looks like. Well, yeah. I'm going to stop it. Alright. Again, their claim that they're helping the poor is not with the tithing through this Ensign Peak Associates. Ensign Peak Associates is a separate entity, corporation, owned and operated by the church, with its own articles of incorporation to become tax exempt. The articles of incorporation say that Ensign Peak takes the money that the church funnels through it, and it is to be used in accordance with the articles of incorporation for charity and other building temples, building churches, education, missionary. And so that's what the church is claiming that they use tithing for, but this separate corporate entity is taking tithing money and not doing anything with it. They're violating the articles of incorporation for that entity for the money that's going in it. And all it's doing is increasing the amount of money. It's an investment corporation. And so the church is distracting people with their claim here that tithing is being used for building temples, building churches, missionary program, educational investment, and helping the poor and needy. It's not helping the poor and needy. And now the Ensign Peak thing is not doing the building and missionary and education stuff either. So the regular tithing, okay, but what's being sent to this Ensign Peak is not okay. And the church is deflecting away from that. So that's another problem in this scandal that the church is not wanting to talk about. But all of this, irrelevant, even though it's corporate fraud, tax evasion, insurance fraud, etc., etc. Where do Mormons get their tithing from? And who do they get it from? It's not donation, remember? You have to give it to the church once you're baptized in order to be found worthy to go through the temple. You have to pay to play. You heard about that illegal scam operation? Church is a pay-for-play operation. It's protectionism money in the criminal organization sense, because Mormons call it fire insurance, because the church leaders promise that if you pay a faithful tithing, you'll be protected in the latter days, Latter-day Saints, from the burning that is to occur. And the earth is already on fire, as we all have learned by now, even though the Trump elites and the Trump loyalists, which are many Mormons, are in denial. And so, baptized members. When do Mormons baptize people? At what age can they begin? Because they're not Catholic, they don't baptize babies and infants like Catholics. That's right. Like Sidney Rigdon's Campbellite Baptist religion, which is where they got it from, was from Sidney Rigdon. 8 years old. But the Campbellite Baptists don't threaten protection money from their members. It's all donations. The church, however, has turned it into extortion payments from children at 8 years old when they babysit, when they mow lawns, when they lemonade stands, whatever little kids do to try to make money. The church demands 10% of whatever they get. Otherwise, the child can't go to the temple. 8 years old typically don't go to the temple. It's the 12-year-olds that can begin going to the temple. Still children. Who else? The elderly, the disabled, who get Social Security. That's government benefits. Church is demanding it from them too. That's illegal. But the church has always come out and said, we will not accept gambling winnings. Oh, good for you. So noble and moral. And this is the major problem that the Nielsen's don't address. He just addresses that they don't follow the Articles of Incorporation. That's what he's whistleblowing about. And he's upset with the church, having been born and raised in the church, that, you know, they're supposed to be doing these wonderful things with the money they get, and then finding out that they're deceiving people. And so, yeah, he's going to get a percentage as a whistleblower to the IRS if the IRS pursues it. And you can see here the church's argument is that, hey, we're complying with the law. Maybe, not really, but they're going to cover it up until my lawsuit gets started. No shutdown, so yeah, I'm going to check Monday morning, see if it's put in immediately. If not, I'm going to call and say, hey, you going to put it in, or can I come over, drop off the lawsuit for the defense so that the U.S. Marshals can deliver it? So, yeah, we'll try to get it to them for Christmas, because that's part of my lawsuit, is that as an 8-year-old kid, as a teen, I was forced to pay tithing. And then so yeah, that's where my lawsuit comes in. And I did the video where the church is going to have to plead no contest because they don't want my lawsuit to go public, and I am refusing to do some arbitrary mediation, whatever they call it, agreement. Don't get distracted by the church's claims. Mormons, you know this. You know how it works. You know when they're lying to the public. Okay. I think I've covered the topic, but it's just so upsetting. And that they use the wrong scripture. The parable of the talents. That's for exaltation. That's not for investment in business. Jesus used that as an illustration, not as a church practice. The church practice is where he talks to the rich man, and he tells the rich man, give all your money away to the poor and follow me. That's the church practice that Jesus wants rich people to do. He does not want his church hoarding billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. That's not Jesus' way. It's not Jesus' church. And so for the church to claim, oh, it's a parable of the talents. So, yeah, really upsetting that the church is trying to protect themselves with all of this. And the IRS, they're not Mormon. They're like, well, they say they do it for this. They say they gave $2 billion. So, yeah, the church is going down in flames. Sorry, Mormons. Get out. The ship is sinking. Titanic is going down. It hit the iceberg. It's going down. And the gloves are off. They still keep pushing on me. They will not let me go and leave me alone. And so I was forced to take it to court. And they knew better. They knew how much I know. So you guys don't know. But those of you who went on missions with foreign language scriptures, had the guide to the scriptures in it, all brand new, shiny, from 2009. And the footnotes, if you followed them in your study of the scriptures, notice that they're different from the English version. Not only do they have guide to the scripture references into the guide to the scriptures in the back of their scriptures, there are some footnote changes as well. Not all of them that needed to be done, but I know the specific people who kept it from being corrected. Because I was a part of that in the top committee. I know names, I know scripture passages that did not get changed that needed to be changed. So don't dismiss me. I'm more powerful and influential than you realize. I was just told not to go around bragging about it, as certain other people did with the first edition of the scriptures in English, who got promoted, got put in places of prominence. And it was because of that when I stepped in to help, that they said, because of the previous people, we are telling you over and over again, don't tell anybody what you're doing. Well, time's up. I'm telling all. I've had it. This church is pissing me off. In the books that I've published, ancient languages, Egyptian books, Paleo-Hebrew books, you guys know I'm a decipherer. I've deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. I've deciphered picture glyphs of Egyptian. Egyptologists don't translate that. You're supposed to. They intended it to be translated, but they just go over the text, because the Rosetta Stone was all they went by. They didn't understand how to do it with petroglyphs. As a result, oh, the Bible. That comes from that picture, that comes from that picture, that comes from that picture. And I've published Philosophy of Mormonism. And yeah. You do not know my history. No man knows my history. As much as I'm even publishing that too. So, I know the weaknesses of the church. I know everything. So Mormons, get out of the boat. Seek refuge elsewhere. And I did that video earlier. helping you transition out. The pursuit of truth is not through social grouping into other religions. The pursuit of truth has to be researched and soundly developed. So, man, they really piss me off.